Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Everybody got a new iron to look at, and it's a utility category, and it's from Ping. It's the new iDi. There's 3 different lofts, but with a twist, which we're going to run through in this video. Okay, so utility irons right in my sweet spot. I'm a user of a utility iron myself, and I'm a massive fan of them. I think they're such a great advantage for any golfers out there who maybe just don't quite get on with a hybrid, but obviously struggle that traditional long iron. These are a great option. Whether you're trying to hit that fairway on that tight par 4 off the tee, or whether it's more of approach shots into the green, this is where these iDis from Ping have a little bit of a twist to them and will help you depending on what you're wanting to get out of it. So of course, as always, let's have a little look at the actual looks of the golf club. So turn it on this back, again, very different to what we see from crossover. No adjustability in the neck now, which I think is a great thing from Ping, because I wasn't keen on the crossover adjustability. When you moved it, it looked like the hosel was bent. It went a bit, I don't know, just a bit weird looking at address. So fixed product now, glued, and we're obviously going to see 3 different loft options. But across the back, we've got this nice chrome badge section to the back of it. Obviously a bulky sole that we're going to expect from these sort of irons, hollow construction, and it's a confident, inspiring look. But when you put it down by that golf ball, it's now more of a squat blade length in comparison to the crossover. So for me, it's a better looking golf club. Still a little bit of offset, obviously still got a thickish top line. Yes, we do see the back of the sole and the back section of the head sticking out behind that leading edge. We do with most utility irons, to be honest. But obviously that is going to allow us to create some forgiveness in the club itself. But all in all, nice squat blade length, very good looking behind the golf ball. Okay, so I'm going to hit a few outside off grass, and I've also hit some inside with TrackMan, so I'm going to show you those numbers. I've got a 3 iron here, which is a 20 degree of loft. As we say, behind the golf ball, very nice looking. I've got one of the stock shaft options in this, which is a 10 side 1K black graphite. 85 gram in an X, so it's a shaft that I really quite enjoy actually. Lots of other shaft options are obviously available. Oh wow, and that sounds brilliant. That sounds extremely good. It's not too loud, it's not too echoey, hollowy. That's a very positive sort of sound. Flight was very easy to fly there as well. And I think sometimes when you look at utilities for golfers, it's like, well, should I be using a hybrid in there? The loft of the hybrid looks the same as the loft of the utility. Hybrid should fly a little bit higher, maybe a little bit better from maybe awkward lies that you would see on the golf course, maybe over the utility. But as I mentioned before, if you're not a real big fan of a hybrid, then the utility iron, if you prefer that iron look and the iron feel, is also a great option. And I've also done a little comparison on TrackMan now. Hit some numbers with a 3 hybrid, a Ping G4 43 hybrid, as well as this 3 iDi. We'll do a little comparison on the numbers between those 2 clubs. So let's talk a little bit about the technology inside this club head. So we've got something quite unique of Ping here, which is the in-air technology is what they're called. So ultimately it's like a pocket of air inside the head behind the hitting area that really improves the sound and the feel of this club face. Now that shot I've just hit did feel pretty good actually for a utility iron. So I think, yeah, maybe that's helping a little bit to control maybe the sounds in the head that we would normally expect from that sort of utility iron. The club face is now 5% thinner, so that's going to help a little bit on extra ball speed across the club face. All right, so that's a little bit slappy, a little bit toey, but that's flown quite nicely, so forgiveness levels are there as well. As I mentioned, 5% thin on the face, and it's still that forged maraging steel club face. So again, a little bit of feel aspect there, shorter blade length heel to toe, as we mentioned, and a little bit of offset in there as well. And actually the blade depth is a touch shorter as well in comparison to crossover. And as I mentioned, this badge across the back is hiding other bits of technology as well. This I-beam is what Ping are calling it, which is basically helping with control of vibration through the club. So again, this is probably going to help a lot with the feel and also the sound through the club, especially maybe on those miss hits as well. Now, as the blade length has got shorter, the forgiveness levels haven't been compromised. So Ping are saying this is 15% higher MOI on low hits in comparison to crossover, so a little bit of forgiveness still happening in this club head, and it definitely fills you with confidence, you know, with that chunkier look, that back section kicking out. Yes, the blade length is a little bit shorter, but still gives you that confidence down by that golf ball. And I think the massive advantage here now, as I mentioned, is they've got rid of that adjustability. It's glued. Okay, the options have gone, but you've got 3 loft options, but now the color codes have come back, so you can really dial in the lie. You couldn't do that in the crossover because of the adjustable hosel. It was very difficult to move lie anywhere, so you were really sort of stuck. Yes, you could move the lie through the hosel, but as I say, it gave it a bit of a peculiar look with the hosel and the shaft a little bit off center, a little bit off straight in a way, which just made it look a bit strange when you start moving it around. Color codes are back, so you can have your lie as you desire. Okay, and let's talk about, for me, the real magic between these 3 loft offerings. So they do a 2, a 3 and a 4 iron in these. The 2 iron 17 degree, 3 iron is 20 degree, and the 4 iron is 23. Now each of these lofts are all finely tuned depending on the job you want it to do on the golf course. Now probably if you're choosing the 2 iron, which is definitely a club that I would probably choose, that for me would be more of off the tee golf club. I want to sort of see that ball flight a little bit lower. Maybe that links windier golf course might be more desirable there with that club. So that particular club is a little bit more of a lower launch and weight distribution in the head with a little bit of a lower spin to keep that flight down. Then as you move into the 3 iron replacement at 20 degrees, it's a bit more of a mid-flight and a mid-launch characteristics with the weight distribution in the head. So potentially there, still an option off the tee, obviously, but also then accommodating some longer approach shots into greens, maybe long par 4s or par 5 second shots, trying to get a little bit of that land angle and that stopping power when it comes into land. And then as you move into the 4 iron, probably you're buying a 4 iron in this to replace a 4 iron from the set, so probably going to be more used for approach shots only, really, from those awful, from those difficult lies that we get faced with a golf course. So a little bit more higher launching, higher peak height with the 4 iron, again through the weight in the head, which again gives you maximum stopping power into land. So for me, I think that's a huge advantage, getting an actual job. It's designed to do what it needs to do for that particular loft, as opposed to just having, yes, a utility head and then having it the same head in 3 lofts. Makes a lot of sense to me, and really fine tuning exactly what you want to get out of this golf club on the golf course. As I say, this is a 3 iron 20 degree. I mean, that flies beautifully. Nice bit of flight on that. You imagine hitting that into a green. I feel like I've got a lot of confidence of getting that to sort of stop as well. I always love the fact with utility irons, again, it's all a preference of look, isn't it? I like that chunkier look in a way. It just fills me loads of confidence. It feels like if I get a bit of a iffy lie on the golf course, I really have no issues of getting that out. Nice wide sort of sole, so I feel like I can attack the golf ball. So if I just put myself into a little bit of a poorer lie here, just sat down a little bit, there we go. I just feel like I'm just going to squeeze this a little bit more, and that large sole isn't going to dig too much. Oh, I've just drove that and it's still flighted. Touch low, obviously, but still flighted beautifully. A little bit of divot, but there's no snagging. That sole just glides through that turf. Okay, so there we go. Ping iDi. I think that's a massive improvement from the crossover. Post comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.